we prefer to be our own
I
guinea pigs.
love how you have a pen in your hand, like you're on the Tonight Show or something. You're just like, you got your notes. You're like Johnny Carson right now.
I got notes. You know, that's funny. On my note page, the only thing I have is the stuff that are travel arrangements that I need to book when we're done with this.
That's right. I just booked my flight to Baltimore just now.
Oh, fantastic.
And so what's great is, Bradford,
Yeah.
you and I talked about this
Yeah.
because we can't hear anybody, right? But I do see some LOLs in the chat. So, you know,
so far so good.
If something's funny, LOL. All right. Anyway.
So, you know, having a live audience for a podcast, I remember when we did it in person, and it does knowing people are watching us, knowing that they are seeing stuff unedited, that gives me a little, you know, a little vibe. And, you know, it occurred to me, you know, live in front of a studio audience is something that I always loved. And, you know, hearing that at the beginning of a sitcom, you know, Alf was filmed before a live studio audience.
Yeah.
I've never had that experience. And Out of This World was in front of a live studio audience, was it not?
Well, there's a few things, right? First of all, you've done Broadway, so you've been in front of an audience or musicals enough to where you're like, holy crap. You know, you're getting butterflies backstage every night. You're like, okay, here we go. You know, because you never know, especially with live, you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
Ever. Right.
Right.
So that being said, with when I did Out of This World, you know, you had a live audience, you had the MC in there, you know, getting the audience ready to laugh, telling jokes.
Yeah. That seems like a fun job to me a little bit.
Yeah. You got to be good at that.
Right. Cause they can turn on you. Cause you're not the person.
Sure.
You're not the person that they came to see.
No.
They came to see Kirk. They came to see Kirk Cameron. What are you doing there?
Totally. And that's probably one of the harder jobs, is to warm up an audience, right?
Oh,
so they're out there warming them up. And then a lot of shows will actually tape the whole show first without an audience.
Right.
And then they'll do it again for the audience.
Oh.
Right. So they have one in the can already, and then they'll tape it again for the audience. But the difference is we can do it and then do it again. If something messes up or it's not, what the director wanted, then you could do it again. And then the warm-up guys going, okay, guys, we're doing another take. Let's go. You know, and they all scream and stuff. And then we start the take. So people are on fire when it happens.
Wow. Yeah, they're ready. But those kind of audiences love a good mess up, though.
I mean, it's just a part of the TV process, right? Because they never see.
Did you ever see someone like, because I feel like there's, you know, those bloopers on like, they always show the sitcom bloopers, right?
Sure.
And the audience is in on it. The audience sees it. Was there ever, and obviously as a guest, well, I mean, you were a regular on Out of This World, but like when you did Who's the Boss, like maybe Tony Danza or Judith Light would give one to the audience, like maybe do something that wasn't going to end up on tape for the audience.
Right. Yeah. So those, you know, like Tony Danza, for example, who's awesome. Right.
Right.
So if he messes up, he'll mess around. Like, you know, he can do that. He's so comfortable on stage. You know, he's been doing sitcoms for 100 years. So he would, you know, if it was a mess up, he'd joke around. He'd walk over to the audience and be like, what'd you think of that? You know, just kind of interact with the audience, talk to the audience after the take, stuff like that. I didn't, because I was a guest star on that. And I was just happy to get my lines out and not mess up. Right.
Yes.
And then I went to Out of This World, and that was really no better for me, because I never really got used to a live audience, because the fact of it being live, like when we go do our live shows, there's still a bit of butterflies, no matter what.
I totally. And
yeah.
Well, and I love when you get nervous. Is that okay?
What does that even mean, dude?
I don't know. It just seems, I know you so well, and I know your human side, and I know but like, see, you're usually in your element. Like when you're at work, you're usually in your element.
Yeah.
Like I've seen you prepare for emotional stuff. I've seen like your process for that. And, you know, you're going inward. And so like, and I can see you're working your way to that. And so that is, you know, like, so there is some, you know, not like in your, do you know what I mean? That's a human moment, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But it would, you know, seeing you during Pro Chuck when you'd like really be freaking out.
Oh, dude, that was the worst.
Yes.
The
Yes.
worst.
But
The worst.
yeah, I don't know. There's something, it just, you know, I don't need reminders that you're human. It's just nice to see.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel.